How many people in the room plan on starting as a part-time agent, gaining momentum, and then going full-time? Okay, about half. The rest of you guys plan on jumping in full-time? Yeah? Cool. Okay, so I'm going to tell my story a little bit about how my process went. Basically, I was working a job. I worked for a smaller startup out of Philadelphia, and I wasn't happy with my salary. I wasn't happy with my day-to-day job. I was a little bit miserable, and I had family members who were mortgage brokers. So one night we were hanging out, and they talked about, Jen, you should get in real estate. You know so many people, Jen, you should get in real estate. On a dare, I signed up for my real estate license online. From that moment there, I said, okay, I'm not going to joke around with this. I'm actually going to do this because I'm pretty miserable at my job, not happy with my salary. And I just went for it. So my first key lesson to this, I don't know how long or how many of you guys have passed your test versus how many people are still in it. But the first thing I want to talk about is not letting the testing process take longer than it needs to. I think that's something I've seen some people struggle with is being like, oh, I still have to take my test. Oh, I failed my first time, and I'm going to wait a while to take it your second time. Get it done. The sooner you get it done, the sooner you can start getting clients. So I worked part-time as an agent for about 1.5 years until I switched over full-time. And I think the first thing that helped really spark my career and had me starting to get clients is as soon as I got my license, and even while I was testing, when I'd run into people I hadn't seen in a while, hey Jen, how's it going? Normally you're like, oh, nothing, same old, working, still dating the same guy, still living in the same house. You say, oh, I'm getting my real estate license, I'm super excited, I'm about to start this career, I'm looking at different brokerages I'm going to sign up with, probably going to join Keller Williams Philly, it's awesome. So by the time that I passed my test, I already had a couple friends who were like, oh, well, I've been thinking about buying a house for a while. I've been saving, my parents gave me money when I graduated college, or I've just been saving up for a house. So I actually was fortunate enough to have, I made so many conversations without knowing it. I hadn't gone to any training yet, anything. I just am a chit-chat person. So without knowing it, I was making contacts every single week. So by the time I got my license, I had a friend waiting for me to purchase her home, and I was like, this is awesome. It's a friend of mine. She'll, kind of bear with me during my first transaction. I signed up with the productivity coaching program here at Keller Williams, where Stacy helped me walk through my first 3 deals, so she really held my hand. So, when I go out looking at houses with my clients, they say, oh, I'm going to put an offer in on this one. I'd be like, yeah, awesome, got it. And then I would go home and call Stacy and be like, Stacy, what do I do?
Now we're going to call Jason.
Yeah, so now we have Jason here because he's teaching the next session. But there's always someone in the office to hold your hand. That was kind of the biggest thing with me is I feel like as a new agent, a lot of times you'll freak out, okay, I have clients now, what do I do with them? What you'll learn once you get into this business is to just get the business and figure out the transactional part later. Because there will always be someone here to help you. With over 300 agents in this office, I have definitely taken advantage of asking questions. I'm now 2 years into this career, and every time I have a new transaction, I'll text another agent. I'll just ask someone who's sitting at the desk, hey, can I ask you a question? Have you ever had this situation happen? That's not what you want to worry about. You want to worry about getting clients. So that's my first lesson, really, is just start telling people you're getting licensed. So if you haven't started already, make sure you're doing so. And don't be ashamed of it. The second lesson I have is to start with coaching and lead generating. So the nice thing about being a part-time agent that works for you, if you have a 9-to-5, is a lot of other people also have 9-to-5. So it was really convenient to me once I left my 9-to-5, or it was more like 9 to 6:30. I would go out looking at houses with people from 7 to 8:30 those nights, or some nights I would make sure I left my job at 4:30 if people needed to look from 5 to 7. So that's kind of the best thing about being a part-time agent. And if you have weekends off, a lot of people want to work on weekends. So while I was at my full-time job, I would do open houses on the weekends, like Marco said. Great way to meet clients. What else did I have here? Yeah, so I got licensed here in February 2017, in February of 2018 is when my business really started to ramp up. It, kind of took a year of me telling people. I finally had my third closing, and that was without me making 50 to 100 contacts a week. That was just me having regular conversations with friends and family. That was me putting things on social media, and that's really it. If you put a lot more work into it, you'll get a lot more out of it. So once I got serious, I ordered my business cards, I ordered my open house signs, I started being a lot more active on my Instagram page. I started getting all my contacts together in an organized manner rather than just like willy-nilly reaching out to people when I felt like it. And in April of last year, I realized I had enough transactions in my pipeline that could hold me over for the rest of the year. And I was miserable enough at my job that I told my boss I had to give a 2 months notice because my job was really demanding. I was there since like the beginning of the company started. And he was actually really understanding. It got really tough once you have a bunch of deals under agreement or whether you're trying to put in offers for clients. Being a part-time agent is very difficult because listing agents don't always know that you're a part-time agent. So they'll be calling you during the day saying, hey, I want to talk about this offer you put in. I'm like, yeah, I need you to call me after 6. Like, you feel bad. You're getting paid. You're on the clock of your job, and you like almost feel guilty taking those real estate phone calls. So that was kind of when I was like, okay, I can't keep doing this. I feel like I'm cheating on my job. Like, I want to be committed to one or the other here. And I learned when I purchased my home that I was working with a buyer's agent. If she had the listing agent was a part-time agent, she'd be like, I hate working with part-time agents. They never answer their phone. So if you are starting as a part-time agent, just make sure that you are able to be somewhat available because it looks bad to your client and the other agent you're working with if you are unresponsive.
I want to add something according to that time block.
Yeah.
The bullet you have up there.
Oh yeah.
We always recommend that you time block your emails anyway as a full-time agent.
Yeah.
So you could definitely fit it in. If you've got a half an hour before you get to work, a half an hour at lunchtime, and a half an hour at the end of the day, whatever to wrap up, or you're going to do some activities in the evening, you can make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So time blocking was huge. I knew that I could get back to agents in the morning. I knew that I could get back to agents at lunch and after work. And then on the weekends, I try to make myself as available as possible for my clients. Something that I felt pretty guilty about when I was a part-time agent was home inspections. Once I got my clients under contract and they're like, okay, we're gonna have a home inspection. Normally as an agent, you should be present if there's anything wrong. But something I did to combat that was if I couldn't make it to home inspection because of my day job, I would send them. I would read the home inspection report and then I would go back to the house on my time and go over any issues there were. So that's a really good way to kind of combat that because I know that's been an issue for a lot of other part-time realtors as well. What my life looks like now, I probably work more than I did before because I like to. I get up in the morning and I'm excited to start my day up. There's always a list of people I can reach out to. There's always something I can do better to improve my website, to improve my Instagram pages. Have I kept up with my accounting, my expenses that I've had? Working in real estate is like being a business owner, so you have to be prepared to do all these different facets of the business. So making sure that you make time for all those things. But since then, I've already doubled my salary from my old job. Plan to double it again next year. There is no limit with this career. As much work as you put in is as much you get out. So, if you're doing more than those 50 to 100 contacts every week, it is true that you're going to get a lot more business out of it. And I did this all through, so there's a lot of different ways that you can lead generate, which Marco talked about. You can do open houses. Some people like cold calling. Some people like door knocking. I'm very similar to Marco in that I like to network. In Philly, if you go on Facebook, there is at least 10 networking events going on every single night. And I put all these on my Google Calendar. So if you look at my Google Calendar, it looks like I'm super busy. But I leave it up to that night to decide which one I'm going to go to, which one I think I'll meet the best people at. So something that I've gotten involved with a lot recently is I'm really involved with the sustainable network in Philadelphia. I'm really into recycling, kind of greener city, what do we do with stormwater when it rains. And that community has been really good for me, and that's something that I love and that I'm interested in. So I've been able to kind of mix my passion in with lead generating for my business. So it's really nice there. I joined an axe throwing league at Urban Axes. I've done that every Wednesday for the past year. I have a settlement from that next week.
Are you any good?
Yeah. I'm okay.
You're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. So I have a settlement from that next week, which is really exciting. And I have another friend that I met through my axe throwing league that we're going to start looking within the month. So just doing fun things and just don't stay home on your couch. You're not going to meet clients on your couch. And if you're normally the type of people who get into real estate are people who don't like staying home anyway, so it normally works out pretty well. So really just find what you like to do in this business and do more of it. I know certain people who are like, I don't really like going to networking events. I like to knock on random people's doors and see if they're selling their house within the next year. Cool, if that's for you, that's for you. That is just something that I find very intimidating. So I tried it. I say try every method you can and then figure out what you like best and what feels most comfortable, because people will know if you feel comfortable or not. My biggest thing that I started doing this year, I started full-time as a realtor in June 1st of last year, and I, set some goals for 2019. I said I'm going to host a first-time home buyer seminar every single month in December. And what I did was I set the date before I had anything planned for it. I said, here's my date, here's my venue. I started advertising it. That really kicked myself in the butt to be like, okay, now you have to actually make a presentation. You need to get your lender partners to be there, and you need to have marketing materials for it. I've had home buyer seminars now, January, February, March. I kept my promise to myself. I've got 1 client per. So that's 12 clients per year. That's over halfway to your goal of getting at least 1 settlement per month. So just finding things that work for you is really, really key in this industry. Trying anything, trying everything. And again, my first time homebuyer seminars are coming from contribution. The whole reason why I hold them and the whole reason I kind of got into this industry was because when I bought my house in 2015, I learned how easy it was. It's not impossible. There's so many people paying astronomical amounts in rent who have enough in their savings account that could have bought homes 4 years ago. So the reason why I hold my homebuyer events is to say, hey everyone, let me teach you how easy this is. If you don't already have the funds, let's talk about how you can get there and how much you need and how realistic it can look for people in Philly. So everyone's not paying rent. We all want to be homeowners. We want to make the city awesome. And after that, it's all been kind of just a mix of all these things. So just holding yourself accountable is key in this. Luckily, I learned that through my last job. My boss just expected me to do a lot, and I always met those expectations, but it didn't feel good because I was doing more and more and more and not always getting more and more and more money. But when you hold yourself accountable and you do all the things you tell yourself you're going to do, those paychecks will line up to your effort. So that's really my story.
Cool. Any questions for Jen?
Yes.
How did you learn how to do those first-time buyers seminars?
I actually have a class in this office monthly. Well, I just taught it 2 days ago that gave everyone an example of mine. I just made it up. So I, thought about the home buying process from the transactions that I've done, and I put it into a PowerPoint that just made it super simple. Here are the things you need to figure out before you buy a house, which is your who, what, where, when, why. You need to talk to a lender. You need to get your finances in line. And then I basically go over the home buying process from start to finish, deciding on a neighborhood, looking at houses, putting in an offer, what the steps happen from then. So really you can do it based upon your own needs, or you can come to my class that I hold in the office and I teach everyone how to do it, and I give everyone my slides, so if you want to copy them, you totally can.
Or download the one from KW.
Or download the one that Keller Williams
Or
offers.
with another agent who's more senior, because when I do events like this
Yeah.
one, I always do it with other people because I'd rather everybody bring 10 people and then have an amazing event with sponsors and stuff like that for our client workshops.
Yeah. So that's the other thing I forgot to note in this office. When I signed up, in addition to signing up for Stacy's productivity coaching program, we also have, it's in your packet, a monthly event calendar. of classes. We have at least one class going on in the office every single day. They range from what's title insurance, why do my clients need it, to how to host a first-time home buyer event. What else do we have? Homeowners insurance, learning about different options.
The lenders and the title insurance have lunch, did you say lunch?
Lunch and learn, yeah, we have free lunch here all the time, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'll see, what?
Investment classes.
Investment classes, how if you'll, once you get in the real estate business, you'll have people come to me and like, I want to invest and I want to flip houses. I didn't know how to do it coming into this. I've only ever bought like a regular home that I was going to move into. I don't know how to invest and flip. We have classes here so that you can learn and then pass that information on to your clients. So there's just a ton of stuff here that, you know, even coming in as a new agent and not being prepared or well versed in how all of this works, you go to these classes and you sound super smart when you talk to your clients then.
How do you sign up with them?
You can just show up.
Oh.
We don't have any sign up. So literally any of these classes, actually, this is a good point to make. Any of the classes on our training calendar, anyone in the world is welcome to come to. So if you guys see one on there you want to come to, you can just come in. If you feel weird just showing up, you can email me and just be like, hey, I'm going to come. And I'll just know that you're coming so that the teacher isn't like, who's this person? But yeah, everyone's welcome to them, whether you're in our brokerage, in a different brokerage. We just like all agents to be as educated as possible because that makes just working with all agents in the city a heck of a lot easier.
You need to be an agent though to go to the classes. Oh.
Anyone? Yeah. Even if you're just testing out the water, you're like, I don't know if I want to join this office or another, come to one of our classes, you'll get a lot out of it.